Okay, let's see what we can do here in this puzzle. Let's try with number 2 here. Here is number 2, and 2 cannot be in these 3 cells. 2 is here also, and 2 cannot be in these 3 cells, which leads that number 2 will be in this cell. Now same situation is right here. If there is a number 2 here, 2 cannot be in these 3 cells, and 2 is here, and here will be again number 2. Okay, the next one, let's see, it's something about number 3. Number 3 is here, here cannot be, 3 is here, cannot be, here 3, and here in this cell cannot be 3, and finally this cell will be number 3. Next one will be, let's see, number 4. Number 4 is here, and here cannot be, here and here cannot be, and because of this number 4, here cannot be in this cell. Finally, number 4 will be in this cell. What now? If here is a number 4, here cannot be number 4, for this number 4 here cannot be, and for this number 4 here cannot be number 4. Finally, this will be number 4. Now there is some interesting point in this situation right now, related to with these two numbers, number 7 and number 8. In these 3 cells there is no possibility to be number 7 or number 8, but the remaining positions for these 2 numbers are these 2 cells. And finally, in this cell will be 7 or 8, and in this cell will be 7 or 8. And in this situation, if number 9 is here, here cannot be, number 9 here, here cannot be, and finally this cell will be with number 9. And consequently, here will be the 2 remaining numbers for this area, and these 2 numbers are number 2 and 6. Okay, what now? Now let's see what is happening with number 7 here. If number 7 is here, here in these 3 cells there is no number 7. But this situation leads to the situation that here in one of these 3 cells will be number 7. And further, if there is a number 7, here will not be number 7. And if in one of these 3 cells will be number 7, here in these 2 cells there is no possibility to have number 7. And here, if here is number 7, here cannot be number 7. And there is a finally last cell with number 7 here in this position. If here is a number 7, here will be number 8. And if here is number 8, here will be number 7. Okay, what now? Now here is 26, and here is 2 or 6, and here in these 3 remaining cells will be the last 3 remaining numbers, and these numbers are 1, 3 and 5. Here is the number 3, and here will be 1 or 5. Here will be 3 or 5, and final cell in the column number 9 will be 1, 3 and 5. Okay, Now what is going on with the, let's see, number 8. For example, here is the number 8 and here cannot be number 8. And if here is number 8, here cannot be number 8. And finally, here will be number 8 in this position. Now, is there any obviously positions? Yes, if number 4 here and here will be no possibility for number 4, and here is the remaining cell for number 4. Now, let's see what is going on here with this cell. Here cannot be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And the last remaining number for this cell will be number 9. And the two numbers for the column number 7 will be number 2 and number 7. Here is a number 2 and here must be number 7. And here finally will be number 2. Okay. Now let's see what about number 7 here. If number 7 is here, here in these three cells cannot be, and one of these two cells will be number 7. Which leads to the situation that here in these two cells there is no number 7. But here is the number 7, and here in these two cells cannot be. And finally for number 7 here in this cell will be no number 7. And this is the last cell for number 7 to be here. And now for number 4, here is a number 4, here cannot be number 4, and here will be number 4, and here is no possibility to be number 4, and finally number 4 will be here in this cell. Okay, what is going on now here? Number 1 is here, and here will be no number 1. And the same logic for number 1 here, no number 1 here, and for number 1 here, no number 1 here in this cell. Finally, cell will be here with number 1. Now we have 6 numbers in column number 4. The last 3 remaining numbers will be 5, 6, and 7. Here is a number 7, and here will be 5 or 6. Here will be 5 and 7 because there is a number 6 here, 5 and 7, and here will be the all 3 numbers 5, 6 and 7. What about row number 8? There are also 3 missing numbers, and these 3 numbers will be 1, 5 and 6. But what about this cell? If number 1 is here, here cannot be number 1, and number 1 will be one of these 2 cells, and this leads to the conclusion that here there is no possibility to be number 1, and here in this cell will be 2 numbers, number 5 and number 6. And finally, in this cell will be, because this is a number 6 here, number 1 and number 5. But here in these 2 cells there are two numbers, and here cannot be number 5, here must be number 1. And if here is number 1, here cannot be number 1 here in this cell, just possibility to have numbers 5 and 6. Here is a number 8, and here cannot be number 8, here has to be number 8. And in these two remaining cells will be two remaining numbers, and these are 2 and number 3. 2 and 3 for these two cells. And for the column number 6, there are 3 remaining numbers. These are 5, 7 and number 9. Here is a 5, 7 or 9. Here is the number 7, and here will be 5 or 9, and here will be 5, 7 and eventually 9. Now here is a number 2, and here is a number 2. 2 cannot be here and 2 cannot be here, and finally number 2 will be here. In the row number 4 there are 3 remaining numbers, 1, 5 and 9, and here will be also 1, 5 and 9. The remaining numbers are 1 and 5 because there is a number 3 here, 1 and 5. Here in row 3 and column number 1, what are the possible numbers in this cell? There is no 1, 2, 3, 4, eventually will be number 5, 6, 7, 8, and here finally eventually number 9. Here are 2 numbers, 5 and 9 in 2 cells, and there are remaining 2 numbers in the remaining 2 cells. For number 4 is here, here cannot be, and here will be number 4, and here finally will be number 3. Similar situation is here with this cell. What are the missing numbers here in this cell? 1, 2, 3, 4 cannot be, but number 5 can be. 6 and 7, 8 and 9 cannot be. And here is the same situation like it was here with 5 and 9, but here is the situation with 2 numbers in 2 cells, and numbers are 5 and 6 and 5 and 6 here. And for the column number 3 there are some missing numbers, but here is a number 1, here cannot be, number 1 here and here cannot be, and the last possibility is here to have number 1 in this cell. And 2 remaining numbers will be number 3 and number 8. Here is a number 3 and here will be number 8. And finally here in this last remaining cell will be number 3. If here is a number 3, here will be number 5. And here cannot be number 5, here will be number 1. And here finally will be number 3. Here will be number 1. And here will be numbers 5 or 9, and here 5 or 9. Now there are 3 numbers in 3 cells, and these numbers are 5, 7 and 9. And this last cell will be the remaining number, and that will be number 1. For row number 1, there are 2 missing numbers, and these numbers will be 5 and 6. If there is a number 5 or 6 here in these two cells, here cannot be number 5, here will be number 9, and the remaining number will be number 8. There are 2 numbers and 2 cells, and here will be 5 or 6, and here will be 5 or 6, but here is already number 5, and here will be number 6, and here will be number 5, and here will be number 6. If there is a number 6 here, here cannot be, here will be number 2, and here will be number 3, and last remaining number in this cell will be number 8. Now here is a number 6, number 5, and number 2 cannot be here, and here has to be number 2. And finally here will be number 3. And here is a number 5, here has to be number 6, and here will be number 5, here will be number 6. And now here in row number 6 they are missing 2 numbers, and these numbers will be 5 or 9. Okay, let's see, 5 or 9, and here will be 5 or 9. And here the same situation, 2 numbers in 2 cells, and here has to be the remaining number, and this remaining number will be number 6. Here is number 5, and here has to be number 7, and 5, 7, here will be finally number 6. Here is a number 5, here will be numbers 7 or 9, and here is a number 7, here cannot be number 7, which leads to the conclusion that here has to be number 7. And finally, number in this row number 2 will be number 9, and of course here will be number 5. 5 here cannot be, here has to be number 5 because of 9, and finally here will be number 9. Here is a 5, here will be 9, and here will be 5, and here will be 9. And finally the last number will be number 5. Thank you very much. Bye.